All right, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be looking at a specific automation workflow, and we're going to walk through it together so that you know exactly how to build it if you want to. But this whole system is going to be available for free down in the description. So if you just want to download it, you can go ahead and do that through the link below. However, enough yapping, let's get right into it. So we're going to take this system, break it down so that you know exactly what is happening here. Number one is that we're going to start breaking this down by using a framework to build AI agents. So what I mean by that is that we're going to be looking at the input of what's going into the agent. We're going to be looking at the agent itself and then the output. So let's start with the input. In this specific case, the goal of this agent is to write LinkedIn posts so that you don't have to because you're lazy, you don't have time, whatever. Next, once we have the input, which in this case is reference posts and just a bit of a brief about what we want to be writing about, and we're going to have to think about the agent that is more or less just writing a good prompt that will actually deliver a good result. And finally, we're going to have to think about the output. Where do we want this post to go? So all that being said, let's start with the input. The way I will set this up is I'm going to go into my LinkedIn profile. I'm going to go check out my analytics because what I want to do is extract my top performing posts because we're going to want to emulate those and kind of like recreate those if possible. So we're going to go down here into the analytics, gonna look for the top performing posts in the past year, show results, and we'll see that this post here did pretty well, almost 4,000 impressions, 70 engagement. We want to have numbers like that again. So what we do is we'll take this, we'll copy this, there we go, and then we're just going to bring that right in here. So I set up a simple database with only two properties. It has a name and it has some content. So we're going to go ahead and paste that in. There we go. So now that that's pasted in, I also have a second one that I've already pre-pasted in here. We have two reference posts for the agent to work with. And what we want to do next is simply add a post. So we'll call it example 2, since we already have an example 1 there. There we go. We click into this, and now we want to give it two things: keywords and content. So keywords can be specific words that you want to use, and content can be a sentence or two about what the actual idea is about. So for example, if I want to talk about building a LinkedIn post generator, I can write LinkedIn post AI agent content generator, and then write a post about the benefits of using a LinkedIn AI agent built in n8n and connect it to freedom. Cool. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I like to make content connecting it to something greater, to a value that I have, instead of just listing the technical aspects. So now that that's done, we're going to take this example 2 post, and all we got to do is change the status. That triggers the backend, which I will show you later on in case you're interested in that. But I just want to show you how you would be using the system as a user. So all you got to do, like I said, is change that status. And in here, we have a Notion automation that will send off a webhook, which then triggers the n8n workflow. So we'll give it a couple of seconds to work its magic in the background. And in the meantime, we can actually go ahead and look what this agent is doing. We'll see it is currently running. So we'll give it a moment to run. And while it's running, we can actually walk through the workflow. So like I just mentioned, there's a webhook, which basically signals the agent to start. We're going to get the information that was in the page. So all that does is take this and it says, okay, give me those keywords, give me that content. Awesome. And then in the actual post generator, we'll see a prompt right here. And more or less, I'm just giving it the content idea, the keywords, and I'm mapping these same values. So basically what it'll say here is, content idea is post about the benefits of using a LinkedIn AI agent. And then the reference posts are being extracted from here. And then finally, there's just a bit of information on how it should be output to make sure that we're getting back a clean text. And once that's all set up, all I'm going to do is update the database page by changing the status to needs review. And finally, we are going to add the post to the actual page content so that when you open this up, the post will be down here in the page. So I'm going to check why this agent is taking so long, and I'll be right back. All right, there was just a quick error because I was using the wrong model in here. But now that it's all connected, you'll see this has moved into needs review, and there you go. We have a perfect post. It's based off of these ones. We can tell that, for example, with these emojis, these question mark emojis I've been using in my text. it uses it right here too, which is awesome to see. And also the layout is really similar. You'll see like these short sentences. For example, I value my time too much for that. That's exactly the type of sentences I would write in these posts. So yeah, it even sometimes takes specific sentences. Like the way I see it, it'll take that and actually copy it over into this new post. So it really does not sound like ChatGPT. I mean, we can even compare by, just taking this and then pasting that into ChatGPT. I mean, just look at this. Compare this post to the one we're creating right here. It's quite the difference. You have these M dashes, and overall, you can just tell that this is just AI generated. Here's what changed the game for me. All these things, it sounds really chat AI. Anyways, so we will remove this post because we don't need that. And now you have a post ready to go. You can just take this, copy, paste, and go over into LinkedIn and just upload it right here. Boom, done. You might have to do some formatting, no problem. But one thing I do want to mention is that it doesn't have to end there. You can even use a tool like Appify, or there's many tools that you can use to connect n8n to LinkedIn directly, because the LinkedIn API is a little hard to work with. However, there are tools that you can use that take this text that you've currently pasted in here, and as soon as you, for example, set the status to ready to post, it'll take that text, it'll post it to LinkedIn automatically, and you never have to leave Notion to make that happen. So things like that are possible too. And yeah, all I want to really mention with that, all I really want to say with that is that with automation, the sky is the limit. Like, you can build a simple system like this, but you can take it to a whole nother level by coming up with ideas for you so that you don't have to do that yourself, posting it so that you don't have to do that yourself, maybe even bringing in new reference posts and periodically checking which content is performing the best and what content has good analytics, even bringing analytics into LinkedIn. Basically anything is possible. And if you want to learn more about that, you can also go down into the link in the description and book a call with me directly. We can just yap about all these different type of systems, because this is also not only restricted to LinkedIn. We can do this with any type of social media platforms across all channels. So I hope this video helped. I hope you learned a little bit. If you did, I really appreciate a thumbs up down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.